Hello and welcome to yet another SSCAIT report. Today I'll be your host, Chobo Swaggins. And today I forgot to write an introduction because I was eating a breakfast sandwich, which I wrote very exuberantly about, and now I have a echoes. No, sorry. Sorry about that. Um, okay, let's get back to business. All right, so we have Tomas Vajda on the bottom left here on Python as spawning as the white Protoss. And at the top right, we have teal. Oh, you guys can't hear the. All right. Wait, why do I hear myself? Hold on. I'm sorry. I don't know why this is happening. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. YT. Uh, yes, indeed. Sorry about that. Okay, back to business. uh, Now we're good to go. All right, let's start from the top. Bottom left, we have Tomas Vajda spawning as the white Protoss on Python, and at the mid right, we have Microwave spawning as the teal Zerg. So today, just while the games get started, I wanted to let you guys know that later on in the broadcast, I will be playing against Monsters ZVT, and I will be playing PvP against Stardust. But most likely that won't be enough to take up the full hour and change broadcast. So I am encouraging y'all to think about what matchups you would like to see besides that. While you have that on your minds, let's look at this game. We have Tomas Vajda scouting first, scouting very early, as is Microwave here. Quite typical to see in AI games. Early scouts, getting a lot of information. No use of the Overlord from Microwave, though the probe does go down as well. Again, these replays were recommended in the SSCAIT Discord channel. They are available for you in the link for the Discord channel is available in the description below. We have a forward cannon here, which is interesting. Generally, what you would see is maybe a wall off with forge, gateway, cannons behind it. The drone does manage to sneak in. It's going to confirm the fact that seems to be a fast expand build of some sort. Interesting to note that it's going to be a second pylon though before the Nexus, so maybe not. Could be indicative of a gateway. Yes, indeed, we have a gateway over here. Overlord is going to scout that. I didn't realize that it sent out that first Overlord. In the meantime, we have 8 Zerglings coming up right now for Microwave. Good timing on the build order to get the 8th egg here. Might have been an overhatch. That's usually the timing for that. It's going to throw down a sunken as well after confirming the fact that there's a gateway being placed here. 8 Zerglings should not be enough to challenge these 2 cannons. Might be able to run by, but the chances are slim, and given how good AI Micro with the workers is, maybe not the wisest choice. In the meantime, another sunken coming up for Microwave, and it looks like even maybe a third one. This is possibly no, there's no second gateway. I would have to say that maybe this is a little bit premature. Generally, in ZVP, you want to save your drones and use them for mining for as long as possible, throwing down those suckins at the last possible second. In the meantime, Zergling production is continuing. Let's double check on the research. Do we have speed? No speed yet. We do have enough gas for it, though, but it looks like a layer was chosen instead. Welcome back, Tyrion, with your breakfast and coffee. Sorry to have put you in a hungry mood. 4 cannons here is going to be still sufficient to handle this amount of Zerglings. It seems like maybe the Protoss is reacting to... No, it can't be. It doesn't have any confirmation of the amount of Zerglings at this time. Just very, very safe play, very cannon heavy, going to be used to support double Stargate. This is an interesting choice. This is a good response to Spire play, which is actually indeed what we're going for here. The Spire has been thrown down. Double Stargate does allow for double Corsair production. This allows for dominance in the air, and especially when your opponent goes for something that is relatively eco-light, like 2-hatch Mutalisk, this could be a very big problem for Microwave here. Interestingly enough, though, neither of the Stargates is producing anything yet. another situation where I think there might be a little bit of a waste here. Generally, what you would want to see is production start right away, so you make use of those Stargates when they are made. But we actually see a fleet beacon coming up as well, which kind of infers that it might be carriers. Now, this is something that I think might be a problem, because Mutalisks can still harass the mineral line here. They can harass the mineral line here. There's are some cannons being thrown down now, it seems. First carrier on the way, but it's not going to be enough to challenge these Mutalisks. Let's see what kind of success we have here. The Mutalisks are confused by the positioning of the cannons here. I feel like they want to run in, but they know that they'll be hit, or maybe they're just waiting to group up until we have a significant number here first. We have seen AI have trouble navigating around potential obstacles. Ooh, yeah, see, I think the Mutalisks are just scared. The Zerglings poked in a little bit too far. The Mutalisks pulled back at the same time. And this is buying precious time for Tomas Vajda to add Sayers now from 4 Stargates. It's actually going to be a lot of Sayers, and I think it might be because the carrier was cancelled. So this is going to be the situation that I was talking about earlier, where the Sayers should perform quite nicely against the Mutalisks in theory, but of course, don't forget, the AI has great splitting, is able to split the Mutalisks away to mitigate the area of effect damage that is done by the Corsairs here. What's the follow-up going to be? It's going to be more Sayers. So it looks like it's going to be a battle in the skies, but of course, Mutalisks do have one advantage. They're able to shoot down. More carriers being added now. Nexus being hiddenly... A sneaky Nexus being placed here, but the probe might be giving the information that is needed to Microwave to go start looking around. Yes, indeed. That's a very interesting thing to know, is the fact that, based on the fact that it saw the probe, I think, is what triggered the scouting for the Nexus. And now the Zerglings are going to come and deny this before there's any possible response from Tomas Vajda. Let's see. Yes. Ooh, Scourge now coming out as well, but not able to land many hits, it seems, on the stair count here. Carriers are now being actively produced. Third hatchery is up for Microwave at the bottom right, and Spore colonies are up as well to help protect the Overlords in the natural here. Hydralisk switch coming in. That's definitely a good choice. Hydralisks do fare great against Sayers, obviously, because they can shoot up. They also fare very well against carriers, but it's all going to depend on the fact whether or not we're going to see disruption webs, which is something that I would be really eager to see. Ooh, those Sayers got caught in a little pathing fiasco here, trying to run away, but being cornered on both sides by Hydralisks, leading to a lot of damage taken there, actually. Yeah, so I believe in a lot of European languages, the J is meant to be pronounced as a Y, so it's Vajda. Could be Vajda, I don't know, but I'm going to go with Vajda for now. Vajda, that would be probably the most correct way to pronounce it. Anyway, Hydralisks and Zerglings still continuing to try to poke in here, but not much luck. The cannon count is incredibly high. That's something that you regularly see with carrier first builds, even in the human level of play. That's something that we saw on Andromeda being quite a popular choice. The gradual drifting here is indeed leading to a lot of unnecessary losses at the front of the base. The Scourge do manage to see, it seems, pick off one Sayer. The carriers are out now as well to support the cannons. The Hydralisks are forced to pull back, and a sneaky Expo did manage to get placed by Tomas Vajda here. Zerglings running into their doom, going to be picked off by these carriers, but it should be noted that these carriers are unsupported and out in space. These Hydralisks could easily, I think, run under and pick off at least 2 or 3 of these carriers, but it looks like instead opting to build up the requisite amount to take down all the carriers, actually targeting the interceptors, which is also a valid strategy. Interceptors take a while to build, they do cost money. Even on a 3-base economy, it's hard to support the production necessary, and with such a low carrier count, losing all these interceptors is quite a big deal. There's only like 1 interceptor out now. These carriers are now effectively neutered. Yeah, you can see that as as a couple are being made, they're almost immediately sniped by the Hydralisks. This is a very interesting approach to how to deal with the low numbers of carriers here. It's something that we do see in TVP sometimes. And yeah, the Hydralisk count is continuing to climb. The carriers are now on half health, most of them. I'm surprised that they're continuing to try to engage here out in space. It is costing a lot of money to maintain this, but it should be noted that Tomas does have quite a lot of minerals in the bank as well. Now Scourge are going to come in and start taking down the carriers as well. Definitely need the Corsair support here, and here are the Corsairs. They're going to start supporting the carriers as best they can, but they're falling far away. It's such a waste not to have Disruption Web in this scenario, I believe. Disruption Web would be a great thing to add into the mix. It's great defensively against Hydrobusts at the front. It's great for supporting carriers and making sure that the Hydralisks can't target them, but it looks like the Hydralisks are going to attempt to break through now that the interceptor count is low. There's going to be Hydras busting down the cannons. I don't think there's quite enough, but actually maybe there is. Let's look at the upgrades real quick. Yes, indeed, with 2 armor and 1 range on the way, it might be maybe that's why it was able to have that success with 2 armor there. But the carriers are getting caught out of position yet again. However, unmitigated expansion pattern from Tomas Vajda. There is 1 Hydralisk here, so it should be aware there's more carriers up here as well. But it looks like the natural will fall, and actually the entire main is in jeopardy of falling. I'm interested to see how Tomas is going to make it out of this situation, to be honest with you. It's going to be quite difficult. The carrier runs out into the natural area before having any interceptors. This is not a good situation to be in. Oh, eats a lot of damage there as well. And in the meantime, Microwave behind this has expanded to quite a number of bases itself, but not choosing to run it. It looks like the carriers are distracting it long enough. Probes are being sent out haphazardly into the natural too, so quite a bit of potato stuff here happening, but still, of course, playing in some ways very superhuman as well too. Interesting choice here to try to expand to this base, and carriers are now going to possibly divert some of the attention away. Yeah, the Hydralisks are going to go to try to defend this base. This is one of the strengths of carrier plays, is that even in low numbers, they're pretty adept at taking down bases and hitting worker lines, and it forces players, or AI in this case, to divert their attention to different locations. Spreading the attention of the enemy AI is a valid way to approach the situation. Interesting block here. Ooh, the carriers went right into the Scourge there. Not a good call there. But yeah, it should be noted that there is another hidden expo coming up here. Checking the island base is the Tomas Vajda, the Protoss, and is now going to come into the main. Now, this is one of the places where it could be extremely annoying to have carriers, because notice how, because of these ridges, the Hydralisks can't engage properly, but ooh, Scourger coming in. They're going to take down at least 1 carrier here. Ooh, I was surprised. It looks like it got split up between multiple carriers. That might be the explanation there. Interesting. The Sayers are now going to try to come in and try to support this. They're going to see all these Overlords out, but no, they're not going to engage. They're not even actually going to support the carriers. The carriers are going to all go down again. And we are back in a strange situation here. There are a lot of Hydralisks here. I think maybe Microwave is recognizing that this mineral line is incredibly important to it right now. The Hydralisks look like they are willing to engage against these carriers here. Carriers are losing their interceptors yet again. In human play, what you do to create this kind of scenario, you can press hold position. That way the units fire on what is the nearest enemy unit. More often than not, obviously there are exceptions, but in this case, that is how you mimic this play, and that's how you limit the interceptor count of your opponent. But it is alarming to note that Tomas has never really gotten that critical mass of carriers up, and is sending a lot of them to their deaths, honestly. I would have also loved to see the robotics being used to take the island base, but of course that is still a relatively recent development in the AI world. Some of the first island bases being taken about a year ago, from what I recall. Umi in the chat says, I think some of the Hydras are blocking others, and that is absolutely true, and you can see that there's actually a weird stacking behavior happening because of some of the traffic that is happening here. Also interesting that Microwave is insistent on placing hatchery right in this specific location. It seems to like that spot a lot. The Sayers come in to try to support the carriers, but they end up going down, a lot of them. They're flying in kind of haphazardly over Hydralisks and Spore colonies. The carriers maybe finally now just seeing this expansion. It could start doing some damage to the economy, maybe, but again, with this Hydralisk count, if we look at, the army supply, yeah, 133 Hydralisks against 6 carriers. I don't think that there is much of an option here. Yeah, Purple Wave in the chat saying that Microwave is around the APM cap, which is a bit over 90,000, and it's not surprising given the fact that there's 143 Hydralisks here. 51 workers on top of that, so basically maxed out is Microwave right now. It's a question of how is it going to be able to win this game. I mean, now we have Arbiters out on the map as well, and the Arbiters are going to help make these carriers even more effective. I don't know why it's chopping up quite this much. I do have a fair number of windows open. But either way, we do have Hydralisks. They're being forced to camp inside their main base because of just these 2 carriers. I believe that's the situation. And as a result, there's not much damage being done to relatively exposed bases from Tomas here. This one could have been taken down as well, potentially, and it looks like reinforcement carriers and arbiters are making their way across the map. And yeah, I think it might be, maybe the choppiness is coming from the fact that there's just so many hydralisks all stacked up and so many commands being sent right now. Um, but the army is making its way around, or at least I thought it was. Looks like it's changed its mind. Maybe it's just patrolling between the bases. Yes, that seems to be the situation. Trying to expand here. I can't imagine that there's 400 minerals here, though, unfortunately. So maybe not the best call. Bottom right base is almost mined out for Microwave. Does have a decent bank and not as quite as high as Tomas's, though. And still the Hydras are kind of forced to be trapped here because of just 2 carriers with no interceptors back here. Interesting choice. Yeah, Nico saying the 90k lag is real, even affecting the stream. I think that has to be what's happening here. The Arbiter is here to support now finally, but one of the advantages of being Zerg is the fact that Overlords are almost ubiquitous everywhere, and they are going to help with the detection. The Arbiter is actually not doing much to cover the... actually, yeah, the one of the arbiters just ran right into the base and got taken out quite quickly. Stasis could have been an interesting addition here. Stasising a bunch of Hydralisks would further decrease the surface area that is effective for the AI here. But throughout all of this, it should be noted that this is Microwave's last mineral line here, as Tomas is still continuing to expand without much impediment from the Zerg. At the risk of at the risk of slowing down the stream even further, I think we can speed it up a little bit because we kind of have a picture of what's going on here. Both AI have a lot of minerals to keep remaking interceptors, remaking carriers, remaking Hydralisks as they go down infrequently, but soon I feel like the tides might start shifting in favor of Tomas, given the fact that this mineral line is the last for Microwave and it doesn't seem intent on taking any more. It's just completely invested on defense, and I guess it's just a matter of seeing how this tug-of-war situation is going to break. Carriers are going down, more carriers, and actually probes are being produced as well. Less than 50 workers, obviously it makes sense for Microwave to be at that number given the fact that it's only on 1 mineral line, but ooh, now we're seeing it looks like the Hydralisks finally decided that it's time to attack. They're making their way into the main base of Tomas. Tomas does have other bases where it could build infrastructure, but I don't know if it's programmed to remake all the tech once it loses it. The main base has been cleaned up of all units. I'm going to slow it down now. The main base has been, the units have been cleared out of the main base besides the Arbiter and the Sayers. Sayers not really doing anything much for the Protoss player at this time. There are a couple of Dragoons being made at the same time, some desperate cannons being placed in the natural, but those are going to get taken out as well. Part of the problem is that carriers come out of Stargates without any offensive capability, so any carrier that comes out here is liable to get sniped. One of them does come out and manages to run away, it seems, outside the boundaries of the base. Another one just comes out. Is it going to survive? Takes heavy hits. Tried to micro back with no interceptors, and boom, it goes down. This is a big turnaround. And at the same time, these 2 bases got taken down by Microwave. So, looks like the stalemate has been broken, and it's broken in Microwave's favor. The carrier count, there's only 3 carriers out on the map right now. I mean, these 2 are going to continue to pepper here a little bit with the interceptors, but they're losing a lot. Microwave, now being on no income, is still poised to take this game with 156 Hydralisks. My god, that's so much. And adding Scourge now is the perfect play, actually, because of the fact that there's no more Sair coverage for the Protoss player. Still desperately trying to make carriers and arbiters, but the last pylons and infrastructure go down here in the main base of the Protoss player, and now these 2 carriers are most likely all that remains for our Protoss player. Only cannons, no infrastructure being remade, so I have to believe that I think maybe Microwave is going to pull out a win here, despite being extremely defensive early on in this series. So yeah, I mean, there are still some annoying carriers here and there, but the Hydralisks seem to have a good grasp on what's going on. They have found this base as well, and oh, there was going to be infrastructure remade here, forge and a gateway coming up in this base, but I don't think it's going to change things too much. Long distance mining now is Microwave expanded to this natural, but is mining from here instead. I wonder if maybe it kept blocking itself from making the hatchery here. Interesting place for the drones to stop, by the way. I'm wondering what kind of behavior leads to that. Carrier came to annoy the income. That's cute. But the Hydralisk count here is just too great, I think. Don't see anything coming out of this. A desperate Cybernetics core being thrown down. Maybe some Stargates thrown down here could extend this game a little bit further, but the Hydralisk count is just absolutely insane. With just a couple of cannons at each base, I don't think that's enough to hold. And yeah, I expect to see Microwave go on a destructive course here through the remaining bases. There is still this Nexus here. The probe somehow managed to get here. Obviously, there's less than 400 minerals here, but I've been guilty of doing that too, is just making a Nexus just for the income and spending a lot of money on cannons, and then the base basically just pays for itself at best. But yeah, looks like the game is almost over. Nico saying, Microwave has some weird unit movement, probably spamming over the collision resolving mechanism. I am not intelligent enough to understand what that means, but maybe someone in the chat. The collision resolving mechanism, I believe that's what is used by workers to mine minerals, and not, that allows them to stack up like we see here. And I guess it's sending an extra move command, I think, is the point. But it almost looked like this was like a rally point where they come and then they're sent to mine minerals. It looks slightly different. But although you can see that they are stacked up until that point. So either way, Microwave does eliminate Tomas in a hard-fought battle. Let's move on to the next game. Here on the left-hand side of Taucross, as the light blue Zerg, we have Fresh Meat, who's been kind of the talk of the town recently. One of the newest AIs on the scene. It's been out for a couple of weeks, maybe a month now, and it was developed by the developer of Hal Pan. It started off at, I believe, something around like 25% win rate on the basal ladder, but has now lifted itself to over 50 and has taken some great wins over other AI in this tournament. I mean, in this community, rather. Interesting mining pattern here, by the way. Instead of splitting the first 4 drones, it sent 2 to each mineral here, I believe, and they kind of wait for each other here. I'm not sure if that's quite optimal, but I would trust the developer to know better. Up against Fresh Meat is Craziop, who we saw in the most recent SSCAIT tournament in January. The VODs for which you can find on this channel if you go back and look through our history, and sending 2 probes to make 2 cannons, interesting stuff, and sending another one to scout 3 cannons, actually. I'm a little bit hesitant to say that this is a good arc to build your cannons in. Normally you'd probably want them like this, or maybe like this, but you also don't want to block your path, I guess. This cannon may be just helping against any Zergling run-bys that might be possible. Gateway added up as a follow-up here. In the meantime, we see that Fresh Meat is going for a 1 base, 2 hatch spawning pool, and frankly, this field 3 hatch actually, so I'm suspecting heavy link play. Yeah, we're getting the gas now. Most likely going to go into speed and then mass Zerglings, which could be kind of problematic for Craziop here, who has invested so much early resources into cannons. Against heavy link counts, you can of course get the cannons, but I feel like going for a zealot heavy composition would be just as strong. It should be noted that there is gas being mined, so a +1 upgrade would greatly help. There's a Cybernetics core coming down as well, which I'm not quite sure might be not the best move. Given the high production of Zerglings that are going to be coming in our near future. Stargate being thrown down, though, that is interesting. That could help against a airless army here. We do see a colony. They opted for a sunken here. I was expecting this to maybe be a spore colony. So let's see how play develops here. I'm not sure if the Zergling has actually scouted Craziop yet. I see them running around. Oh, and the first few Zealots are going to get taken down here as they approach the Zerg base, and it is going to be a mass Zergling all in, it seems like, off of 3 hatcheries. Definitely not enough Zealots to hold this right now. Those Zealots were used aggressively and lost quite easily. Definitely need Zealots here to wall off and help those cannons use maximum advantage. Pulling probes, no, not committing. Tried to use the Zealots, didn't even use the Zealots, and this is going to be a quick and easy cleanup for Fresh Meat here, it seems. But no, actually, pulling the probes this way has helped the Protoss hold on quite nicely. The first big wave of Zerglings is almost dealt with. There are, of course, more and more coming in. There is less mining at this time for Craziop. A lot of probes are going down as well, but the Sayer is able to No, it can't. There's the spore colony that I was talking about. It is going to help fresh meat keep its overlord count alive, and I think it's going to slowly whittle down Krasiop here, who performed quite well in the SSCAIT and in the Student StarCraft AI tournament from January. So fresh meat definitely an up-and-comer in the scene. Maybe a slightly cheesy win in this situation, but is going to take the win home, and very nicely done. The reason why this was linked was because someone in the person who recommended it says that fresh meat displayed something that is kind of a unique behavior for AI, and the fact that it actually committed to an attack. I think in this case maybe it was just a great calculation. Just seeing the fact that Protoss lost the Zealots, it sees the cannons, and that there's only 3 of them against like 36 Zerglings. The Zerglings are probably going to win. But if I do recall correctly, the creator of the AI Howpan did mention in the chat that, yeah, once fresh meat goes into this turbo Zergling mode, that's it. That's pedal to the metal, and that's all we're doing. Although it should be noted that there was a layer made eventually here as well. Now, speaking of Zerglings, pedal to the metal, let's look at this game. This is what I played today, this morning. Monster spawning at the top right here, and I'm going to slow it down just to talk a little bit about it. Monster spawning at the top right of Fighting Spirit, me spawning at the bottom right as the Purple Terran. Now, the reason why I played this game this morning is because I wanted to warm up so that I wouldn't embarrass myself on stream when I have to do this later. Also, I wanted to test a theory that I had. It's that Monster can kind of be goaded into doing the same kind of approach that we just saw from fresh meat, and that's the Zerglings pedal to the metal, let's go, go, go. Now, Monster frequently likes to do early Hive Tech plays, early Defiler plays, which I think are the scariest part of the way that Monster plays, especially in ZVT. However, if it experiences any like undue early aggression, then it seems to be more likely to go into that very heavy Zergling composition. So in this case, I get scouted soon by this drone here, and when you get scouted early in TVZ, you kind of feel like, oh crap, they must be going for like a 4-pool or something, right? So I saw that drone, I'm like, uh-oh. So I immediately react by sending another scouting SCV. I'm going to go to the bottom left here, but I'm going to be fortunate in that I catch this drone coming out here. Now, normally what you can do with this SCV is you could try to block, and that is one of the ways that I've seen Monster get a little bit triggered and go into that heavy Zergling composition. In this case, I went inside the main base just to confirm the timing of the spawning pool, and now I'm going to keep my SCV here, and this is how I kind of forced Monster, I think, into that heavy Zergling composition. Now, I'm going for a bunker rush here, and I'm pulling extra SCVs to repair, which is just to be extra safe. And this is actually quite a lot of SCVs to pull. Normally, you probably wouldn't see quite that many pulled by high-level players. Of course, Monster is also aware of this because of the drone, and I'm rallying my Marines to the main base. Now, I want you all to focus on how Monster reacts to this. When I was playing this, I thought that it was like almost an incredibly human response to the bunker. So first of all, it's going to send these drones here to fight against this SCV to try to prevent the bunker from being placed. So instead of targeting the bunker, it targets the SCV. Good call. I stopped building the bunker for a second to target the drone to see if it would change anything, if it would kind of force some sort of reaction. But no, the drones are just happy to continue pummeling away at the SCV. So I tried to distract them, right? So this is what I do. I tried to distract the drones, but the drones, they were chasing, but as soon as I left a certain distance, the drone's like, alright, well now the bunker is undefended, time to go attack that. So I thought that was a great call too. The drones are very well aware of the target, and it's shifting that target based on I guess the timing or the proximity of the threat. In other words, I think that it was almost a human level of evaluation that has been programmed into Monster here on how to deal with this really problematic build when you get first scouted. The SCV was coming back to the bunker. They immediately shift their priority to try to kill the SCV, and they almost get it down. If I didn't send all those SCVs, fighting SCVs, these 3 are targeting the SCV that is building the bunker. These 2 are fighting the extra SCV, and this is leading to the point where I barely get that bunker down. Now, this is the other interesting point, right? So my first Marine's coming in. One of the ways that human players prevent the Marine from getting into the bunker is that they bring their drones forward and they try to body block the Marine to prevent it from getting in, or you can try to just outright kill the Marine before it gets into the bunker. So, watch this response. As soon as it sees the Marine, it goes right in for the block. It just barely missed inputting a move command here to block me out a little bit further. So I do manage to get a Marine into the bunker, but at what cost? I lost 4 SCVs. No, well, technically I think I lost 5. And now the bunker is going to go down before I even managed to take down anything. So it completely mitigated this early rush by me and actually managed to take down 2 more Marines as well. Now, panic sets in for me a little bit here because I sent an SCV to build a bunker, but it got blocked by something, so now the bunker is going to definitely be late. I'm thinking of distracting with this SCV. I'm going to send it out towards the Zerglings to distract it. So I sent to distract, and nope, the Zerglings buy it just for as long as it's blocking the path. And now they think about moving in. They target the SCV. No, I'm sorry, that was the other SCV that went down. And I fortunately am able to get my bunker up. Now, this is where I think Monster makes its grave error. Of course, it is going to be difficult for me to scout Monster because it has Zerglings in front of my bunker. It is going to be difficult for me to know which kind of tech it has as a result of that, and I'm forced to kind of play defensively. I don't know if it's going for mass lings, I don't know if it's going for mutalisks, for hydralisks, and spoiler alert, I think that Monster got pushed into that pedal to the metal mentality here. It's going to just produce Zerglings off of these 2 hatcheries. Sorry for the spoiler. It's going to try to bust this bunker. Don't get it twisted. It is actually sending a couple of SCVs to try to target the repair SCV as well. The bunker is very low on health. My command center finishes. I've managed to repair it. And with this loss of Zerglings, this is where typically, in at least human versus human play, the Zerg player would be like, alright, time to back off. You know, this guy clearly has the reaction time to repair the bunker. But no, we have already pressed the pedal to the metal, and we're going to continue going for full Zerglings. That was even actually before Zergling speed came in, I believe. I'm not even sure if Zergling... Yeah, our Zergling speed is not even done yet. So, as a result, I now have the advantage, most likely economically. I mean, I'm up 16 workers to 10, and even with just 1 barracks and a bunker, I should be able to, for the most part, hold, especially if I hold the SCVs here for repair. Purple Wave saying a few more Zerglings targeting the repair would have done it. I think so. I think that could have definitely made a difference. The repair, it's a very fine balance to try to strike. And it also depends on how far the repair is, because if you notice, because of the path of engagement, the repair is back here. It would require a lot of Zerglings to run around. You lose more Zerglings in the process, so on and so forth. In this case, a little bit of a misplay, I think. Tried to target this SCV, I think, or maybe it was... Yeah, I think they tried to target this SCV, but... We're continuing to hold. A couple of Zerglings brought around to try to target the Marine, but now I have medics out, which are going to heal both the Marine and the SCVs. And so, still, full pedal to the metal, just making Zerglings is Monster. And unfortunately, because of the fact that it keeps engaging with slightly too little, it seems that as a result, it's never going to build up that number that could actually bust this position, because this is still not a very strong position, and running by is also another option that could be problematic for me. But it seems that it's just intent on taking down that bunker. Now that I'm recognizing that it is the Zergling mass approach, I have started building fire bats, and this is where definitely a human player would be like, alright, look, he has fire bats, there's no way I'm busting that bunker, and we do see a little bit of that here. Monster did back up for a second, but it is going to continue trying to engage with the bunker here. Also gotta love the line that it makes every time it falls back, that perfect concave. But now it's actually just running in and losing HP every time. What I guess I don't understand is, like, why does it think the situation has changed since the last time it run in? It's only going to be worse since the last time you came in. But I guess also at the same time its own situation is slightly improving over time because of the amount of Zerglings going up faster than they are going down. But the answer to this, as popularized by Idra back in the day when he was playing Oct Zerg on IC Cup, the natural enemy to Zerglings is the Fire Bat, and that's exactly what we're going to see here. I leave some Fire Bats and Marines in the bunker just in case there's a backstab, and now we're going to see kind of the typical behavior of some AI, at least, in that they're just is going to try to retreat up until the point where there's no more to retreat to, and now we're going to see a barbecue. Barbecue. Fire Bats for the win, baby. and Monster, recognizing the fact that the game is over, has fallen out. It did add the third hatchery, though, should be noted. It did try to develop its play somewhat, but it only used that to make more Zerglings. So I just wanted to point out how this kind of how this Zergling pedal to the metal thing is something that happens in AI world, maybe something that the bot authors can look into. Now we're going to play Monster again, but this time I am going to try to not win in the same way, in the sense that I'm going to try to, how should I say this? I'm going to try to force it to not make that Zergling type play, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be focusing on not rushing it, even if I have an opportunity to do so, so that I can evoke that very strong macro play from Monster, the fast hive play. So I hope you guys will indulge me in that, and let's set it up. So yeah, I am going to play on Fighting Spirit again, Terran versus Zerg. This is because this is the only map I'm really comfortable in the matchup. I'm not that great at it. So let's see what happens. I should be able to get Boudoir up now. Makes my whole screen go black again, I don't know why. Please come back. Okay, Boudoir, good. Nope. Oh yes, it is good. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to attempt to keep talking about the game as I did last time. So the first step that we have to do is remember that I'm not going to rush the AI. Good. Remember that it does send out the early drone, even though it's not pulling me, so don't panic too hard. But I'm still going to double scout just to be safe, because it has rushed me before in the past. So it is definitely something that is in its repertoire. So hopefully I get to show you guys a good game. I'm going to try to not spam too much, so that there's not a lot of annoying audio cues, and so that the action is easy to follow. Let me bring up the chat real quick. There we go. Good luck, have fun. Thank you very much. So one thing that you typically see in Terran vs Zerg, with the first depot would go here to prevent Zerglings from running around, but that's a behavior that I haven't seen from Monster. So I'm going to do the sneaky thing. I'm going to put the depot here for mining efficiency. Now, if we want to be really cautious, we would send the first SCV to scout right now, and that's what I'm going to do. Umit asks, sending workers to the closest minerals makes a difference. Yes, it does. Shorter circuits means better mineral efficiency. So as you see here, I'm going to send it to this one. Another thing that makes sense is sending one SCV per mineral patch until you double up, at least in human play. As we saw in the most recent game, that's not absolutely always necessarily true, because we saw Fresh Meat send 2 drones, but they had the perfect waiting mechanism to make sure that they got there at exactly the time that they need to. So I just spotted the drone coming out. I'm imagining that it might... Nope, it's going to be a fast pool. Good thing we scouted. So we don't need to have the SCV out there quite yet, but what the hell. So I want to make sure that I block its expansion if it does try to go for one. In the meantime, my original plan was to go Rax FE, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go for 2 Rax before. So the drone scout does come in. It would be really annoying if the drone scout would attack the SCV here. Oh, but I can't. I should not block. I should not be blocking. I forgot. My bad. Okay, Zerglings are out. Are they going to chase my SCV around? No, they thought about it. They didn't commit to it though. So first thing we're going to do this, and we're going to block the ramp here. We brought a mineral to the Zerg god. Magic box pathing, please. More Zerglings coming out. Okay, so now we should be able to hold this, but it's choosing to attack. Can I hold this? No. Oh, that was no. Oh my god, I'm about to get busted, and it keeps making Zerglings too. Oh god. No. All right, guys. All right. We lost that one, fair and square. I thought I had enough, but I didn't. I should have pulled the front SCVs back, I think. maybe having more than 4 would have been the right answer. But I'm going to do that one again because I still haven't shown you guys what I think is the most impressive part of Monster TVZ. So, I'm going to double check to make sure you guys can see this. Yes, you guys can see it. Alright, perfect. Gonna bring up chat again. There we go. GG. The kill switch hit hard, yes indeed. I think I would have been better off with more SCVs there, but I guess that is a different way that AIs can just beat you. It's a good way to see it. So, can downloaded maps interface with Snail? Alright, so yes, they can. I think you have to do something sneaky in the sense that you have to like name it the same as the file. You didn't hear that from me, but that's how I think some people have used hacked maps on Snail before. Some like stuff with like stacked mineral, like mineral patch like right next to the command center. But in general, you don't want to do that. That's kind of like abusing the AI, and the AIs probably won't work as well in those maps. But yeah, that's the way it goes. So, we got busted last time. We're going to try to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And I'm hoping that we're going to see a late game play here. And I'm surprised that it's not going for it, because it was wildly successful against me with that before. I don't think I've ever beaten it even once. Excuse me. So, hoping to see it this time around. Forgot to scout early. Actually, no, it's still good timing. So, yeah, get over there. So maybe I built my barracks a little bit too far. What are you doing, SCV? I told you to build. Oh, so we know where he's located. And that's because he didn't go into the path that we were scouting on. It was good micro at the ramp too to target fire the SCVs. Oh no, he's actually over here. I don't know how I must have missed that drone in the minimap. So now we're going to confirm what the build is. Umit asks if bots first scan map before game starts, right? And they scout. They don't have the. Oh, okay, good. We do have an expansion, so I will be able to show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, perfect. This is perfect. I'm gonna try not to mess it up. So hopefully we see some late game plays this time around. Yeah, I want to say like it's not like they know where I'm located, but it depends on what you mean by scan. Because yeah, they do scout. So because we know it's a late pool, I can go straight into command center, and I'm going to do what is a build that works pretty well against humans in my experience. It is a bunker. You bunker expand. Well, you go command center bunker, and then you you go into factories with Goliaths, and then you switch into bio, basically. Will it fight me with 2 drones? Yes, it will. Good job. Let's see the Zergling count coming out. And the reason why I'm not building a depot is because I know my command center is going to be done soon, and we need to kind of save money a little bit too, because we're going for 2 factories. I'm going to try to do some annoying harassment with the pool. We're going to try to stay alive in here. What are we building here? Another hatchery. Interesting. It's probably 3 hatch muta after all. When is this command center going to be? Alright, I should have. No. It's all fine. It's all good. It's all good. We're good. We're fine. Sunken colony. That's good to be safe. It doesn't know that I'm going for a factory, but yeah, alright. It shouldn't know that I'm going for a factory, I think. Alright, let's see. Can we stay alive? Layer is on the way. I don't think it would trick me. So, what we're going to... Sorry for the moment of silence. I need to think about what I was going to say. We're going to go into vultures. we're gonna make like 2 vultures first to scare it, and then we're gonna go right into Goliaths. And this is to hit before the Mutalisk timing. That is the major goal that we have here. I did make the factories a little bit closer than I wanted to. So I'm gonna have... why didn't the vulture build? Come on. Come on, guy. So I'm gonna have to place it like this. And make a depot now. 4, good. Probably don't need all that on gas, but it's better than nothing. Alright, so we're gonna make 1 vulture, that's fine. And what we do is we go 2 factory vulture into Goliath, and then we switch into bio. Immediate reaction from the Zergling to try to run away, and I am hoping that I'll show you how it can block me as well. Okay, so sunken. Alright, we're gonna try to run by. And look at this. Blocked on the ramp. It knows. It knows. So just just to show you how absurd it is. It knows to block that ramp. So yeah, I definitely don't need all of that on gas. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. We do need an engineering bay though, I think. I think this is a good timing for it. Need to add Goliath. No other. Come on, good. Why can't? Oh, because I'm at I kept trying to go further left. Okay, Goliath, another Goliath. So as soon as the scan goes down, we're going to scan his base, and hopefully he doesn't have Mutalisks yet, and hopefully we'll have enough Goliaths by then to kind of fight against the Mutalisks. This is going to finish. I'm going to make a preemptive turret just in case. I like to build it a little bit forward to protect my factories. I like to build it in here so I can repair it. So with just a few turrets, we should be able to hold on. Scan is done. Spire is done. Mutalisks are not out yet, I don't think. Or are they already on the way? That would be no bueno, but that's the idea. Now, here's where you, oh, here they are. Right on time. Here's where the cutesy part starts. We are going to go for range first. And we're going to migrate this back over here. Alright, the tricky part is that we are going to be going right into bio. And that's going to hypothetically punish it for what usually happens in this matchup is that the Zerg, they go way too heavy into expanding to respond to the Goliath pressure, because they're like, oh, he's going mech. We can just expand all over the place. Now, I have a suspicion that that is not going to happen because it didn't do it last time I did this. We are also going in to go this. We can add a turret here, add this. So the one advantage that we do have, because we're playing against AI, is that it probably won't read the fact that I'm going bio, because it's not. I don't think it will be able to recognize the fact that I'm adding barracks right now. But who knows? Maybe it does. I don't know. We already have +1 attack. We're gonna get stim. So this timing attack is meant to punish an overexpanding Zerg, and no expansion here yet. It's probably gonna take this base though. Yes, indeed. So behind this, we're also going to go for Marines, siege tanks. Normally, I'm supposed to be at a higher count of barracks though. Now, what I've done before is I've tried to pressure this base, and I think I might be able to get away with this since it seems to be going mostly for Mutalisks. Let's see what's going in the mace. See, this is the fast hive that I'm talking about. This is what kind of hurts the build that I'm going for, is because the fact that hive is going to be so fast. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 2. So this is the goal. We're going to try to push that base, and we're going to try to win with it. We're going to try to take out that base, rather. Sorry. Need to add depots. Oh. That's not good for me. I should send my Goliaths back. No, I'm gonna keep going. I think it knows that there's something funky going on. No, 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 no! Siege tank! Get out of the way! Oh, this is awkward. So, alright. Have not been macroing whatsoever. That's fine. It seems like we're going to be able to take this down, but I know for a fact that we're about to be in trouble. So we are going to manage to take down this base. Let's quickly double check. No. Defiler Mound is already up, and we have no vessel. So our goal is to buy as much time here as possible, basically. Lurker's out already. I don't have... Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Oh, we're in trouble. I think that's my tank. No, it's a Goliath. Oh, the escaping drones that burrowed earlier. Nice. Now we're going to try to pincer. Look at how fearsome that is. Look at that. So we did trick it a little bit, but I think it's still going to be difficult. Should be adding fire bats, to be honest with you, and should be getting... Oh my god, caught me. Oh my god. You can't look away for even one moment here. So I thought I had a good push, but I guess I was mistaken, you know? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep, that's a wrap. She's probably going to mines to stop this. How did I lose so much while trying to run away? I think my tanks must have gotten in the way, honestly. Or it's also pushing me so fast, too, to be honest. No, run away. Look at this. What? It's absolutely absurd. Like, you think that things are going well, but... forget about like trying to expand and stuff, you know? I think it's defusing the mines, by the way. Barbecue. I heard the detested defiler sound. Yeah, no, that's dunzo. How do I not have a radiate yet? Oh, I took the CVs off gas before. Shit. That's not good. Need a command center. Oh my god, I just saw those expansions come up too. Crap. I must have scanned right before they placed it. Yeah, looks like it. Still no to radiate? Come on, baby. Thank you. Oh shit, it knows about my expo. Somehow. Somehow found out about my expo. That's not good. Oh my god, that is so much stuff. Yeah, that expo is done. Very late irradiate, I think, has doomed me in this game. Alright, we're gonna try slow pushing, I guess. Oh my god, yeah, no, we're not. We're not. Why can't I irradiate? Not enough energy. Okay, that explains it. Good game. Good game. Alright. So obviously I didn't play perfect, but I think you guys have a pretty good idea of what I'm talking about when I say really scary stuff. So we have gone a little bit longer than I was expecting just to get to that, and frankly my wrist is tired after that. So what I will do is I'll do the Yes, I will do the PvP against Stardust next week. This week you guys got to see Monster in its full glory take a poop on me, and hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any suggestions for next week, let me know. I hope you guys had fun watching the insane pressure and scariness that is the Dark Swarm push of the Monster. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys tune in next week. You guys are going to be taken care of by Nightcap, most likely. And yeah, stay healthy, stay happy. I wish you all the best, and take care.